So here we are in Abu Dhabi at the Electric Vehicle Innovation Summit 2023, all about the world of EV. Everything you can possibly imagine is here. It's about those conversations, but more importantly, it's about making sense of really where we're going forward in this region, in the MENA region. Right now, with me, comfortably in this beautiful car right now is Wulf Schlachter. Wulf, an expert in electric vehicles. We spoke yesterday on stage. You're on a panel sharing lots of things, certainly about the industry. Tell me first of all, in the MENA region, what's the mindset in terms of that change, that transformation from regular vehicles that we all know and love to electric vehicles? What's happening here right now?
Thanks, Peter, for the nice intro. Yes, I'm also expert not only for the cars, also for the infrastructure. So building infrastructure is necessary to operate the cars, and especially home charging and also workplace charging and public charging is one of the topics you need before starting the business. Otherwise, well, you fail with ranges traveling between Abu Dhabi and Jeddah, for example. Something like 3,500 kilometers will not be possible, but this is the future. So from that point of view, we are still at the beginning, very first beginning. And I think the growth will be faster than in other countries, depending on, let's say, well, the push, and see also the manufacturers coming here, like the Rivians we are sitting in. Nice car, as you said. And I think there will be a growth rate which is much higher than what we've seen in Europe or in US.
So EVIS, this is the second edition, gathering the whole world of in this region of EV extravaganza, we could even say. What's certainly only the second edition. It's growing certainly in this region and beyond. What's the kind of impression you've had from people that have been coming and going here, from entrepreneurs, from founders, from people that are interested in buying the cars, or even actually working in terms of suppliers? What's the feel here right now?
So I was participating on several events in the past, and from that point of view, you have seen that the quality of experts traveling here to Abu Dhabi was much higher than the events before. And from that point, you see that the demand for, let's say, technology is there, and the people are requesting this. So this is a good sign. And also you have seen here on the conference, it's a typical B2B expo. You haven't seen so much, let's say, consumers. But it's good because before the consumers will come or have to enter the market, the experts must be clear what to do and how to operate these cars, these chargers, and all the ecosystem end to end. And so far, I see a development which is tremendous. So I would say even from last year to this year, you have seen lots of improvements. And also the size of the expo has more than doubled, I would say.
When it comes to policy, it's an important word, and it's an important word that really we all need to kind of be aware of and understand as well, and to take this industry forward, as we've seen in other regions that are doing it well, very well indeed. Tell us more about what has to happen here in terms of policy, very briefly, in the MENA region.
So compared with Europe or even US, they started with the policy first or regulation first before they started to build, let's say, the ecosystem. So they regulated a lot before entering the market and bringing new innovations into the market. So, you mentioned innovation is being driven by these policies or blocked by policies. So from that point of view, I see in not only here in the UAE, a positive progress. It was 1 year ago a little bit more complex. Now it's getting better. And I even installed a charger here in Abu Dhabi. I think it was in 2017. And to be honest, it was a nightmare at this time to install a charger somewhere because you had no one who could tell you, oh, grid, oh no, I don't know what to do with a charger on a cable and the cable in the hand on the other side. So what's going on here? So you see that I would say we are far away from that situation 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and it's getting into a mass market activity, and that's positive. And even also in the region, so to take a look at Saudi Arabia and Jordan, for example, there are mass also development and investments in infrastructure, and also truck charging is coming up, and some other things to, well, decarbonize the combustions, say it like this, and that's positive from, I would say, from sustainable aspects. And, well, fine for the organization here that they have done it a second time, and let's see what happens next year maybe.
In terms of what's going to happen next year, or actually, if I ask you right now, 5 years from now into the future, if we were doing this event here, EVIS, in 5 years from now, what do you think will be on show? What do you think will be happening in the region 5 years from now? In your crystal ball, tell us.
No, I can tell you clear this, because it's quite simple to make a kind of comparison. What we have here is something what we have had in Europe, I would say 5 years ago, when we started with high power chargers on the motorways and so on. It's, I would say, the same time frame. But I could imagine, because of these, let's say, well, the learning process here is much faster than in Europe, and it's easier now to learn from what the Germans or the Americans have done wrong or not so good. So I would say if they work here very hard on these infrastructure topics and even the intelligent platforms and, well, everything what you need for home charging and workplace. So I could imagine that we see lots of electric vehicles here, but not only electric vehicles. We were going to see a lot of electric trucks. We're going to see electric buses. We're going to see even some, let's say, catenary systems where you have over kind of lines over, like you know, from the trains running for example, on a motorway for 5 kilometers with charging overhead, and you have a range of 50 kilometers for the e-truck. So I think this is the next generation where we will see here as well in the near future. And, well, especially charging is everywhere, and you know that. Especially talking about giga projects, we are talking about drones and air taxis and so on. They also has to be charged, and there will be standards coming up as well, or already existing standards. So from the policy side, I could imagine that's also running into this direction.
Well, from what you're saying, it sounds optimistic, it sounds complex, it sounds like there's a lot of work to be done, but putting all that together, hopefully we can do that. Listen, this is where me and Wulf, unfortunately, we cannot drive off together literally into the sunset, the warm sun here in Abu Dhabi. However, what we will do is we'll leave you now, and Wulf, it's always good to talk to you, hearing your insights and hearing your perspectives as well, right here at EVIS 2023.
Thanks, Peter. Great show. Bye-bye.